Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, we're going into the business of artistry, and we're going to talk about networking. Networking for artists and creatives is so incredibly important because you are the brand, you are the product, you are the talent. And in order to really live in that life between prosperity and purpose, the fact of the matter is you're going to need people rooting for you, opening doors for you, shaking hands with you, and being your advocate. And that is all based on relationships. And how do we build these relationships? Well, a lot of it is through networking. So some of my clients kind of shudder to think about networking, and there's a lot of negative connotations around it. And I understand. Because I've been to those events as well, where there are people who just want to shove their business cards in your hand and they're trying to get a client, right? They're trying to make some money off of you really quickly and just be done with it at the end of the day. And that doesn't really feel good. And the reason it doesn't feel good is because when people are acting and transacting their energy and time like that, it's really all about them. And that's fine because at the end of the day, we need to pay our bills. But there's a difference between creating a life between prosperity and purpose, or creating a life of prosperity and purpose, and then creating a life where you're just paying the bills. Prosperity and purpose requires a different mindset and a different orientation as we go into these energetic transactions. So here are some of the things that I think about with networking, and you can check out more on my blog. There's a blog post up right now, 5 tips for networking. It's erinvasquez.com/blog. Anyway, so you can check it out there. So this is what I really recommend. Before going to an event or before going to a meeting, ask yourself a question: how can I serve this person so powerfully that they will never forget who I am? And as a creative, you might be wondering, how can I serve them? I paint or I sing. It's not like you can just sit there and sing through a meeting or that would be serving them. But you know what? You can give them the gift of truly listening, of making them feel like they're the most important person in the world. And I know that we're all caught up in our own little minds and our own little worlds and our own little life and everything, and that's okay. But when we are building a life of purpose and prosperity, we have to pop out of that orientation and look at things from other people's perspectives, because it's then when we can look at things from other people's perspectives where they start feeling understood and important, and they start having all of these emotions that make them like you. And guess what? Here's another little tip for the business of artistry. People buy and for necessarily the best thing until they ask you, and even then bring it back to points that you've already learned about them. So anyway, serving people so powerfully that they would never forget you. How can you do that? Listening deeply. Listening really deeply. What happens when you listen? They feel understood and they feel heard. And you get the opportunity to find out where their challenges are or what their dreams are. And you never know, you might have the opportunity to make an introduction that would be really beneficial to them. Or you might have an opportunity to send them an article or a book later down the road that served you in some kind of way, or that you think that they would really enjoy. Or maybe you know someone else who's read the book and they can't get enough of it. Or just sending them a podcast episode, things like that. People really appreciate those little things. Then they know that they're being understood and that they're being heard. Another thing about networking is I want you to think of it as growing a forest. Networking is not meant to have a really fast turnaround. If you go to an event or to a meeting, know that it might not materialize in an actual business transaction until years down the road. I've had people call me a year after a networking event and say, hey, I would love to hire you for hypnosis, or one was even a premium coaching package. Like they just were ready. And they were ready because they had met me, they were following me on social media, they were getting to know, like, and trust me. So even if someone doesn't immediately say, oh my gosh, you have to have a solo show at my gallery, or, we would love to set you up with a recording contract, or whatever it is for you, know that if you put your best foot forward and keep nurturing that relationship, and knowing that it's not just going to be an immediate transaction most of the time, who knows, you never know when like things are going to get lucky. I don't want to like eliminate that possibility for you. And just know that that is an opportunity. And just think about like a forest. Like it takes sunshine, it takes rain, it takes time. There's all these different flora and fauna that the forest really benefit off of. It takes different weather cycles, and eventually it all comes together into this like interactive ecosystem. So another thing I really want you to think about is spreading the wealth. So often when we're trying to get our success and our career off the ground, we're looking at opportunities as mine. And I know that when I first started coaching, I actually took on a couple of clients that may not have been the best fit because I was just so needy for the validation, right? And needy for the money. You want to pay the bills and all of that stuff. I completely understand. But now what I do is I make sure to network with other coaches, because what I've learned is, and you can learn this too as a creative, is that not every client is for me. But I know a lot of coaches. So if I run into someone who might not be for me, there's a really good chance I'll be able to send them to a colleague of mine and say, hey, this person is super talented. They're going to help you reach your goals. They're going to help you with whatever you need to do right now. And that way you're sharing the wealth, right? So as an artist, as a musician, whatever it is, maybe an opportunity comes your way and you really want to take it, but sometimes there's that little like, like that energetic kind of like, doesn't really like fill you up with joy, right? And like, isn't that part of prosperity, is like being joyful about what you were put on this earth to do? There's some kind of like energetic mismatch, and this isn't creative mindset, so I'm not going to get into the woo-woo stuff, but if there's some kind of energetic like mismatch, then maybe you call one of your other musician friends or artist friends or something like that, or refer the person who's pursuing you with an opportunity and say, hey, this might not be a good fit. Something's not quite, well, don't say something's not quite right. You don't have to give them all that information, but I know someone who would be really, really good for this job. That's showing your colleagues, that's showing the industry that you are generous and that you are kind. The idea that nice guys finish last is I'm going to judge it. It's a stupid, outdated belief. It is good to be kind. It is good to be generous, because it's going to come back to you in one way or another. I guarantee it. Doing the Men's Warehouse, I absolutely guarantee it. So those are some ways to network that are very different than just showing up and like handing out your business card or handing out your headshot. Definitely have those on you. But the orientation that you come with, the self that you show up as at these meetings, at these events, at these go-sees, whatever they are, is going to differentiate you from the crowd and help people trust you in a way that will bring the prosperity to you a little bit faster than if you're just going out there and trying to get a gig, right? Okay. So anyway, thank you for watching. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of other videos as well, videos on the business of artistry and also videos on the creative mindset where I share different tools, techniques, and insights about how to build your business as a creative career artist and also the mindset that it takes to achieve prosperity and purpose, because that's what I want for you. So be sure to subscribe, watch a couple of other videos, share this with your friends, and I will see you in the next time. All right, bye.